Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Daily English Dose. Today, we're going to tackle one of the biggest challenges many English learners face. I understand English, but I can't speak it. This is an incredibly common situation. Perhaps you can watch movies without subtitles, understand songs, or even listen to content like this podcast. But when it comes to speaking yourself, it feels like hitting a wall. Do sentences not come to mind? Do words get mixed up? Or does your tongue just not cooperate? Have you ever found yourself in this situation? Don't worry, you are not alone. Millions of English learners worldwide share this exact feeling. In this episode, we'll dive deep into how to overcome the speaking barrier and how to turn all that rich information you understand into active, fluent conversation. If you're ready, let's break down this wall together. So, why is understanding often much easier and more fluent than speaking? You can think of it like learning a new physical skill. Let's say you want to learn to play the piano. You can listen to beautiful piano music for hours, fully grasp the meaning of every note and melody. But that won't magically make your fingers dance across the keys, will it? This is exactly where we can draw a parallel with learning English. Listening and understanding is like passively observing a skill and digesting content. But speaking requires us to train our language muscles, develop our motor skills, build muscle memory, and coordinate a whole bunch of complex mental processes simultaneously. That means word selection, grammar structure, pronunciation, and intonation. And of course, on top of that, there's the element of confidence, which can be a barrier in itself. So, yes, practice is key, but what kind of practice? The first and most crucial step to overcoming the speaking barrier is to break free from that vicious cycle in our minds. The habit of translation. Many English learners think in their native language and then try to translate it into English before speaking. This is like trying to have a fluent conversation while constantly flipping through a dictionary in your mind. It slows everything down incredibly, making your spoken English sound unnatural, hesitant, and riddled with pauses. So, how can we escape this translation trap? Here are two powerful fundamental strategies that will help you overcome this obstacle. 1. The art of thinking in English. It sounds simple. Think in English. But it requires conscious and continuous effort. It's like shifting gears in your mind. Instead of viewing English as a code to be deciphered, you start to internalize it as a natural way to express your thoughts directly. So, how do we achieve this? Create a full immersion environment. Even if you don't live in an English-speaking country, surround yourself with English as much as possible. Change the language settings on your phone and computer to English. Listen to English music, watch your favorite movies or TV shows without subtitles or with English subtitles. Read English books, articles, and follow news from English sources. This constant exposure trains your brain to the rhythm, patterns, and natural expressions of English. Just like a baby learns their native language, your brain will start to process English directly. The more you immerse yourself, the less you'll rely on translation. You'll begin to notice English phrases and expressions popping into your head more naturally. This is like building a mental library of English, ready to be used when you need it. Practice inner monologue. Talk to yourself in English. This doesn't have to be out loud. You can do it in your mind. Try to comment on everything you see, do, or think about during the day in English. The sky is blue today. I need to buy groceries. What should I cook for dinner? These simple practices keep your brain constantly active in the English language and strengthen your muscle for directly converting thoughts into English. 2. Overcoming the fear of making mistakes. Embracing mistakes. This is one of the biggest mental barriers that prevents many people from opening their mouths and practicing. The fear of sounding silly, saying the wrong thing, or being judged by others. We've all experienced it. So, how can we overcome this fear? Everyone makes mistakes. First and foremost, it's crucial to remember that everyone makes mistakes. This is a natural, inevitable, and in fact, necessary part of the learning process. Even native English speakers make mistakes sometimes. The key is to shift your perspective on mistakes. Instead of seeing them as failures or sources of embarrassment, view them as opportunities to learn and grow. Every mistake is a chance to improve your pronunciation, grammar, or vocabulary. When a baby learns to walk, they fall countless times, but they get up and try again. We need to approach language with the same resilience. Be kinder to yourself and accept mistakes as part of the learning journey. Let go of perfectionism. Fluency is not the same as perfectionism. Being fluent means being able to express your ideas smoothly and confidently, without having to overthink every word or grammar rule. It's completely normal to have an accent, make grammatical errors, or struggle to find the right word in the beginning. What matters is to communicate and to practice. Now, let's move on to concrete techniques and exercises that we find particularly helpful for developing speaking fluency. These are powerful tools that will help you turn your passive knowledge into active speech. 3. The shadowing technique. This is one of my favorites, almost like a secret weapon. It's a very simple concept. You listen to a native speaker, like someone on a podcast or in a movie, and you try to repeat what they're saying almost simultaneously, like a shadow following them. How it works. You mimic their pronunciation, intonation, stress, even their rhythm and pacing. It's like a vocal workout for your English. You can put on your favorite English podcast or TV show and try to talk along with the speaker. It's a fun and incredibly effective way to practice your pronunciation, get comfortable with the natural flow of English, and even pick up new vocabulary and phrases. Tips for more effective shadowing. Start with short segments. You don't need to shadow an entire movie at once. Choose a scene you like, maybe a minute or two, and focus on that. As you get more comfortable, you can gradually increase the length of the segments. Pay attention to details. Notice how the speaker pronounces certain words, where they put the stress, and how their intonation changes throughout the sentence. Don't just repeat the words. Try to imitate the nuances and even the emotional tone of their speech. Record yourself and listen back. Recording yourself speaking and listening back can be really helpful to hear how you sound, identify your mistakes, and pinpoint areas where you can improve. This is like having a personal language coach in your pocket. Hearing your own mistakes is the first step to correcting them. 4. Mastering core phrases. Don't underestimate simple everyday phrases like, "Hello, how are you?" or "Thank you." These phrases are the building blocks of any conversation, and having a solid grasp of them can make you feel much more confident and comfortable when speaking English. It's like having a set of tools you can always rely on, no matter what the conversation throws your way. Practice saying these phrases out loud in different contexts until they feel natural and effortless. The key is not just to know the words, but to own them, to make them part of your active vocabulary. 5. Creating speaking opportunities. Finally, we need to bridge the gap between practicing in isolation and actually using our speaking skills in real-life situations. Stepping outside of your comfort zone and speaking English in the real world can be nerve-wracking, but it's also one of the most rewarding aspects of language learning. Use your hobbies. Are there any community groups or activities related to your hobbies or interests where you could use English? You could join an English cooking class or participate in a film discussion group. Connecting your passion with your language learning goals is a fun and engaging way to practice. Utilize online platforms. You can connect with other language learners from around the world through language exchange apps or websites. Find someone who's learning your native language, and you can both help each other practice. This is a great way to get real-life conversation practice. Learn about different cultures and make new friends along the way. Remember, the journey of learning English is not a sprint, but a continuously evolving path. Most importantly, be consistent with your practice. Even just a few minutes each day can make a huge difference over time. Be patient, celebrate the small steps, and keep your why in mind. Today, we've covered a lot of ground, from the understand but can't speak problem to thinking in English, embracing mistakes, using powerful techniques like shadowing, and creating speaking opportunities. I hope our listeners feel more motivated to improve their own speaking skills. Remember, you're not alone on this journey. Millions of English learners worldwide face the same challenges and celebrate the same victories. Most importantly, make this process enjoyable. Learning English should be fun and rewarding. And if you found this episode helpful, please don't forget to subscribe to our channel, like the video, and share it for more English learning tips. Remember, consistent listening, confident speaking.